This is a rare and legendary Fender amplifier from 1963 known as the Blonde Fender Bassman. As you can tell by the color of the Tolex and the 1 year only specific wheat colored grill cloth, which I find to be one of the best looking combinations Fender ever produced. Now, the Fender Bassman is arguably the greatest guitar amplifier of all time, and I am partial to the 1959 Tweed version like the one behind me, but Fender would drastically change the circuit and design of the amp starting around 1960 or 61 when they introduced the piggyback combo featuring a 212 speaker cabinet that had a closed back and had either Oxford or Jensen speakers. I believe this one has two 12-inch Oxfords, which we'll be hearing very soon and see how this amplifier sounds. Now for the Bassman, Fender introduced this separate head cabinet, still had your dual channel bass instrument channel and normal channel, as well as the presence control over here, which definitely adds something to the sound on the Fender Bassman. Now today I'll be playing a couple vintage guitars through this amplifier to test it out and see how it sounds, including a 1958 Les Paul Special with two P90s and a 1959 Stratocaster. And I think we'll start out with more of a clean sound, maybe put the volume around 3 and see if we like that. And then we'll crank it up to where I think the sweet spot is gonna be and see how that sounds. Now there is some interesting history on the Blonde Fender Bassman, specifically this one with the wheat colored grill cloth, which was a 1 year only option, and the 6G6B circuit, which as far as I know is mostly the same as the 6G6, but it does have a solid state rectifier. There were a number of famous musicians who used this specific amp, starting with the Beatles allegedly used this amp for a number of recording sessions, and there are some photos to back that up, including Sgt. Pepper's and the Revolver record. You can see photos of the wheat grill cloth Bassman. Also, Pete Townsend was apparently a big fan of the Blonde Bassman, and he would pair it with different cabinets, including Marshall cabinets, which I would imagine would have a huge sound. Also, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers were known for using the Blonde Fender Bassman, but there were a number of other players that use this specific model as well. If you guys know of any, please drop some names in the comment section. So let's go ahead and take a listen to the 1963 Blonde Bassman. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode on the 63 Fender Bassman. I would love to hear from you and your thoughts on the sound of this amplifier in the comments section down below. I really did enjoy the sound of this amp. I just did a demo on a blackface version of the amplifier. You can see that on my YouTube channel. And it sounded really good. It was much cleaner. This amplifier feels a little bit more tweed in the sound, which it's closer to that era, but I think with the Les Paul, it would break up very nicely. It was very Marshall-esque, had a great rock sound. With the Stratocaster, I think I liked it a little more clean, but it does have, to me, more of a more pleasant sound than the later model Bassmans. So I really liked it in that regard. I think it was a great sounding amp, and I think it definitely has a place here in my collection if I can afford to hold on to it. But it's interesting. I've looked for these amplifiers for a long time. I've had pretty much every other version, But these are hard to come by, and people do ask a premium for the blonde amps. And then I really wanted the wheat grow cloth. I just think it's the best looking combo. And I actually found this locally here in Oklahoma where I live. I bought it from a gentleman who goes by the name Honest Ron. You guys may have heard of him. If you were in and around Oklahoma City in the past, I don't know, 20 or 30 years, he had a store down in Oklahoma City, and a lot of vintage gear passed through there, I know. But it's no longer there. But anyways, really cool guy, and I was able to pick it up from him, and it just had the look that I wanted. It's got a really nice patina to it, if you can notice. It's got some cigarette burns, and more importantly than all of that is the sound, which you know, I didn't really know until I brought it home and tried it, but it was worth it to take the chance on it because I think it sounds really good. So I'd love to hear from you guys what you think. If you enjoy these videos and you want to support what I do here on YouTube, please consider liking the video, commenting on the video. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, check out some of my other episodes on vintage gear. You can also take a listen to my record. It's out on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to music. You can even purchase a copy from my website at matthewscott.org. It would certainly mean a lot to me. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in and checking out this video today, and expect more content on the way, all right? Peace, guys.